To do the I'm so excited to do the synopsis for this.
Oh my god, wait, I've been thinking about it forever. I can't wait to hear it.
All right, here we go. Welcome to another episode of the OC podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valera. On today's episode, we are going to tackle season 1, episode 10 of the OC. I'm pretty excited about this one. As always, I am joined by my partner here, Kenzie. How are you today?
I'm so good. I can't believe we're 10 episodes in.
I know.
I didn't realize it was episode 10, and I always write down like the number, and I was like 10. Like, right. Dang.
Like, we've gotten pretty far into this already. It's really cool. Awesome.
I'm getting to the point where I remember, because I watched this on TV growing up.
For sure.
And then I don't know if anybody listening ever did this. My favorite thing growing up when we would have like school breaks, like the week of Thanksgiving or like the week in between Christmas and New Year's, all I would do is go to bed, air quotes, and just watch every DVD of every season that was available and just like watch them all over again. I vividly remember putting these DVDs in at the point we're at now. Like, I remember watching this like over and over.
Yeah, I remember I was sitting there. I was like getting ready to press play. I was like 10. I was like, I even said to myself, "Is this right?" I literally went to like the podcast app on Apple.
You're like, okay, we've done 9.
Oh, it is number 10. Okay, this is cool. And then when you watch the episode, it's like, oh, like, yeah, like this is I literally wrote it down. This is a spicy episode as well.
It is. There's a lot going on. We were talking about they like burnt through the drama the first like 4 episodes, and then it kind of slowed down. They're back. They're back.
Hello.
I like literally was drinking coffee, and when something's really stressful, I like drink way faster. And I was like, I went through a lot of coffee, guys.
Yeah, it's so good. And of course, folks, as always, what we do is we watch the episode each and every week. We hope we're joining us. And the people that are, like, we keep on getting responses and comments. And it's like, we're watching with you guys every week. It's so cool. Like, it's so awesome to think that people are doing this with us each and every week. But we talk about the episode. We give you guys our MVP, some quotes, and then we'll give you guys some fun facts as well. If you're listening at home, leave some comments on wherever we post it, who your MVPs and stuff are.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to you guys about it. I'd love to shout them out on here. Each and every week, but we're about to focus on my favorite part of the episode. This has become the reoccurring favorite part of the episode. The goal each and every week.
The synopsis.
Exactly. So for me, what I ask Kenzie to do is never to read the synopsis because I want to read it for her live on the air. I want a real action. And we talked about it a little bit last week because I saw a little bit of ahead of time, and I told her how excited I was about this synopsis. So are you ready?
I'm ready because I almost went to IMDb to see the date this episode aired, and I was like, no, because if I see like the first sentence of the synopsis, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
You know what? I'm going to add that to my synopsis every week now that you said that. So season 1, episode 10, The Perfect Couple, aired on November 12th of 2003.
Okay.
All right. So
that means we're really close to Thanksgiving, huh? On this show.
We are. We are.
Shit.
I think we are like 3 episodes. All right, so here it comes. Work keeps Sandy and Kirsten apart. Rachel makes a play for Sandy. Julie's secret lover is revealed, and it's got like the dash. It says, "Oh my God," basically, but it's spelled OMIGOD. with exclamation point, bam. And then it says Summer realizes she likes Seth, but, and then in parentheses, but don't ever tell anyone.
What?
Seriously.
What is this? It's like a bullet point for every sideline story instead of being like they don't even bring up the.
I'm gonna pull it up on the screen for you.
They don't even bring up the yacht.
I'm gonna pull it up on the screen for you right there.
Oh my God.
For those at home, I'm pulling it up on the screen on YouTube. You can check this out right now. But if not, otherwise.
God, this is a terrible one.
But look at this. Who wrote this? Who wrote that? Who wrote that?
It just doesn't make sense. It's like.
And who types, "Oh my God," like this?
I'm going to start now. Sorry to anyone I text. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's not, terrible. It's like, oh my, I mean, It's
It's
so
pretty
bad.
terrible.
I mean,
This
and
is
there's so much to unpack in this. Like, if this
it's
is your first time watching it, like, they really do, they kind of spoil a lot in the synopsises
yeah, and
too.
like you don't know that Julie has a secret lover before this episode to like say
No.
that. Like
So if this is your
and
first
just
time
like
watching it, it's like
and like I don't like synopses that are like bulleted. Like, no, like I would summarize this episode like there's a party on a yacht and drama ensues. Like you don't say what the drama is like in a
everything.
list.
Like
Like
he literally listed out Rachel makes a play for Sandy, Julie has a secret lover, and Summer like Seth. That's the entire. Like we don't even need to talk about anything. Like that's the
oh my
episode.
god,
We're done.
6 minutes in. Bye guys. I'll
Yeah,
see you next
exactly.
week.
Yeah,
Like what?
exactly.
This is ridiculous. I'm gonna file a complaint.
It's so bad. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this. It's funny. I wrote season 1 episode 10 episodes deep.
It's
Exclamation
crazy.
mark! Exclamation mark! It's pretty crazy. Okay, so we open with a little bit of a spicy scene,
Very steamy. Very
very,
steamy.
I have a question though. Okay, I have a serious question. Why is Marissa so out of breath?
Okay, I don't know if this is a Misha Barton thing. I'm really sorry if Misha Barton's listening because I love her. I watched The Hills new reboot for her. She's always kind of out of breath, like in general. And she's always like really awkward and like I don't know, like she looks like stiff, like when they're making out and stuff, even when it was with Luke.
Yes.
And I don't know, it's weird. Maybe it's like she doesn't like acting and kissing. Like she doesn't want to do romantic scenes or something. I don't know. It's really weird because Ryan's not out of breath.
No. And it's not like they're fully clothed, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like they've been doing anything
like
for
that's
them
the
to
extent of
be
it.
out of right. That they're just like it's just over.
Maybe she has a deviated septum. I have a deviated septum and I like
So
get
do I.
really out of breath. Yeah, it's fucking
So do I.
horrible.
It's
It's
the worst.
horrible.
Look at
Yeah.
how
So maybe she has like
it's gonna be our
problem.
we're gonna get shirts made. We're gonna get shirts made.
Deviated septum club. If anyone listening has a deviated septum, we're a support group. Contact us for support. Misha Barton included.
Yes. So obviously I want to point out again, I pointed this out the last 2 episodes, but the music right now is so good during this scene. It's
literally
so
like I watch everything with subtitles, so it like says the lyrics for it. Like lyrics, it says like everything. And it was like romantic music. And I was like, okay.
exactly. Like you
it
didn't
was
even
really funny.
You don't even second guess it.
But they bring up that it's a Tuesday, or like I guess just a weekday. I don't know why it's a Tuesday. They bring up that it's a weekday. They bring up that it's 11 p.m. Like, what? At 11 p.m. on a school night and they're like making out? Like, go home. Where are your parents? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Because then Kirsten comes in and is like, oh my God. And I told you I'm gonna do it forever now. And she comes in like, hey, Sandy's not home. I'm like, why are you up at 11 p.m.? When I was in high school, like I never went to bed at 10 p.m. But that was like my parents like, okay, go upstairs, no more like like what are you doing? It's 11 p.m. Like what did you think she was coming in to tell him?
I don't know, but my favorite thing ever. This is the line of the episode. That's never happened with Seth.
It's just so funny because like Ryan is friends with Seth, you know, but like even they like always are just bashing Seth, which is like a comment made later in the episode by Seth. But
it really is too.
It's like really funny. Like they just all like punching bag, man. Like it was really funny though. It was a really great line. See, you're Team Kirsten again. It was really good.
And right now I am.
Oh yeah.
Wait till later. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just it was so good.
It was really funny.
Ryan and Marissa. Yeah, it's
on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's on.
It's
They're a go, folks.
it really is. It's just so funny. And then of course um oh, then this is funny. So Sandy and Kirsten are talking about this in the kitchen now, right? Because she
Who are
wants
also very hot and heavy. This
right, right.
episode's very steamy. Like
It
you were
really is.
calling it spicy.
Yeah,
It's
steamy.
like it's like when you get like taco sauce and it's like picante, mild, like whatever. This is the hottest flavor available.
It really is. It's so good.
Like
Um, but I love what he says. He goes, Ryan and Marissa Cooper, didn't I tell you?
I love that because it's like he's like this show is one of the most like adult heavy like teenage drama shows where like the drama involves the parents.
Yeah.
But it's like so funny, like even they're ensued by like the
Right.
teenage drama of like, will they, won't they? He's like, I knew they would. Like it's really funny. Like Sandy's also watching the OC, guys. Like
Yeah, exactly.
like literally. But I like
really
that
is.
she's like, Sandy, be an adult, talk to him. Like, there's rules. And he's like, but I knew they were going to be a couple. Like,
Exactly. That's all he cared about.
like, it's so funny.
Sandy is so emotionally invested in all of the relationships. I mean, even
It's so
obviously his
good.
own sons, like he's obviously invested in that too. But it's just so funny how like he felt so emotionally invested in Ryan and Marissa that he was like, "Yeah, I called that."
Yeah.
He won the pool at work that said
Yeah.
Marissa and Ryan were going to end up together.
It's so good. It's
It
so
is.
funny. But he witnessed, if you think about it, I didn't think about it till right this second, but he witnessed the meeting. Remember when he was smoking and he was like, okay, you can't do that in the house. It was the
Yeah.
first time he met Marissa and Sandy
Yep.
witnessed that. So
Yep.
Sandy kind of like, I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't introduce them, but like kind of did. Kind of did.
Yeah.
He's a matchmaker.
Sandy Cohen matchmaker. Add that to the list of things. Obviously, and then Sandy and Kirsten get a little hot and heavy, and then Ryan walks in on them, which is so good.
So funny.
It is. It's just I love again a testament to the writing. You know what I mean?
It's so epic, like because that was like on purpose, you know.
And then we kind of have the moment where it's I guess it's like the next morning, you know what I mean, or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then Seth comes in while Ryan is apologizing for last night, and Seth is like, "What happened last night?" And then Sandy's like, "Well, I do need to talk to you about that later." And he's like, "What happened last night?" And then the only person left in the kitchen is Kirsten. And he's like, "Mom, what happened? Like, can someone tell me?" And she just kind of looks at him with the Ryan Atwood move of just a glare, walks away. And he's like, "I guess I'm just comic relief." And it's the funniest thing.
So angry.
Because, like, if you think about it, like, Ryan's new to their family, but they're already, like, associating more with Ryan than Seth.
And they are with Seth.
It's like everything Seth has said has been happening to him at school where he's like ignored, nobody talks to him. It's like happening in his own home. Like it's really funny. It was great.
And then of course Seth and Ryan on their way into school, they start obviously conversating about what happened. When Seth discovers that Ryan has slept with multiple girls
first it's like, well, how was the sex? And he's like, which time? And he's like, there were more than one time? And he's like, with those same girl or different girls? He's like, there were more than one girl? Like, it's the funniest thing. And he's like, I need to sit down. And then it like cuts to Marissa and Summer talking about it. And it's kind of like the funniest thing that she's like, you already did that. Like, just go on with it.
Right.
Because has it been addressed that Summer is also unexperienced and a virgin?
I don't think so.
Sorry for spoiling that to anyone.
I think it's just assumed that she is experienced. Because, you know, the way we've seen her.
Yeah. So, but it's funny to me because the way she's talking about it, you could tell that she's never had sex, that she's like, you already did it once. Like, you got the awkward part out of the way. Like, just go move on with it.
Right, because I think that's my favorite part of like some of the writing. Obviously, early on we had the callback between Ryan walking in on Sandy and Kirsten, and now we have the callback because it's like Seth and Summer are kind of poking and prodding in the same way, different words, different words, obviously,
but it's very similar
in a curious, like, okay, like I kind of want.
I don't know what you're talking about,
right? Like I kind of want the details.
They can't.
I want you to like, yeah.
Yeah, like they can't provide great advice because
they
don't know.
Right.
It's really funny. And then I just love that Seth hypes up this
The date
great date.
blows
And then
he blows Ryan up, man. It's just
Ryan's face while it's happening is just priceless because Summer was just being like, Chino doesn't know anything about a date. Like, and then Seth is like, well, he has this whole like 3-prong like plan date. Like, it's so funny.
where he comes from, they don't even have a PF Chang's. I'm like, oh my god, Bad Summer's back. Such a bad line.
Also, like, PF Chang's isn't nice. Like, it's fine, but it's a chain restaurant. No one's like bragging about going to it's because like PF Chang's
Especially in
looks
this
fancy.
neighborhood.
Exactly. That's like my thing. Like it's nice. It's a nice restaurant. Like, you know, I would kill for some lettuce wraps right now. But like it's not nice in Newport. Like, come on. Come on. Come on.
You were losing your virginity while I was playing Magic. And he said,
And then he's like, "You still are."
And he goes, not as much.
It was really funny. It was great. Their chemistry is my favorite thing on the show.
So good. It's so funny. I love it. To me, I just love that they haven't known each other that long. We're talking maybe a month, maybe 2 months on max 2 months, right? And they give each other crap back and forth.
Yeah, and like you can tell
they personal or anything like that. You know,
you can totally tell that they've really like embraced each other, and like Ryan isn't very like emotionally open or like available, but I feel like he trusts Seth like a lot. Like,
right, he does.
And I think that it goes to show they're implying that there's a lot of them bonding together. Like, that's not shown, obviously, on this show. Like, you can tell that they're living together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we transition to Sandy and Rachel, which she says a hilarious line. Sandy Cohen, are you cheating on me with your wife? The line was so good. I couldn't help but laugh.
She's so like, I don't know. I hate the way she's written. It drives me nuts.
Oh, God, I love it. I do.
I hate it.
I love it so much.
I hate it because she can't just be like a good female lawyer that like you're slightly jealous of because she's younger and obviously attractive. Like they had to make her like making moves and like sleazy. And I'm like, she could have just been like good lawyer.
She could have been the person that literally like 5 minutes later we talk when Caleb is talking to Kirsten. She could have been that person, not the person that she really is. Right.
And I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like if the show were written today, she would have been written a lot differently.
I agree 100%. Obviously, that moment happens. And then guess who's back? Good old Julie.
Did you miss her?
Maybe a little bit. But the only reason I missed her because we're about to have her with our favorite written character on this show, Mr. Caleb, is back as well.
He's so good. I love to hate him so much. But I mean, like, I also love to hate Julie. So I did miss Julie. I won't lie. Caleb messes with his grown children, you know? I mean, at this point in time, we're only seeing one of his grown children. Mm-hmm. But Julie messing with Marissa bothers me because Marissa's still growing up and like needs parents to guide her. Right. So I think that's why I give Caleb more of a pass because like, Kirsten is her own person. She's an adult. It's fine. Exactly. I mean, it's not fine the way he treats her, but like, it's a little harder to watch Julie mistreat.
You kind of know what you're getting
because, like, and like Kirsten knows how to work with him, knows how to like work around him, but like Marissa needs a parent. Like Marissa needs stability, and that's why I have a hard time watching Julie.
Yeah, Kirsten's like a 35, 40-year-old, probably 45-year-old woman that's well off on her ways already in life.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, obviously it affects her still, but like it's harder to watch Julie because she is ruining Marissa's life and childhood. And poor Caitlin.
I gotta talk. I've got something to say about her later.
Caitlin's my MVP. What are you talking about?
I've got something to say about her later, but we'll get there when we get there. She finally makes an appearance back in this episode show.
So many questions. I have a huge question.
All right.
How is Julie Cooper paying for anything at this point in time?
I have Caleb, I guess.
It's weird though, right?
It's
Like,
100%. I don't even know how she's existing in the world. But like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I understand like she has a house over her head, but like, how is she
I,
paying for food? Like, getting her nails done.
I
That kind
was,
of hair
I,
she's getting done once a week. Like,
how did Jimmy Cooper get a apartment? How did Jimmy Cooper keep an apartment over his head? I don't know.
it's very weird. Very weird.
I will say, Caleb taught me something in this episode very early on. I've never heard this comment before. The
Uh
only
oh.
the only man a woman should trust is her father. I've never heard that in my life.
Which is so funny because like if you haven't ever watched this show, so you don't know what's coming with any of these characters.
Right.
If someone was like, choose between trusting Caleb or Sandy, you would obviously trust Sandy. So like what?
like exactly that's the problem. So first problem is I've never heard that comment before.
It's
Second problem is
terrible.
it's who is saying it, which makes it worse because Caleb is a bad dad. He didn't even go to his own daughter's wedding.
Yeah, like
And they rescheduled the wedding 3 times so that he could make it to the wedding and still didn't show up to the
just
wedding.
honestly, like, but I that props to the actor, man, for delivering that line in character as Caleb. Impressive. Impressive acting.
So good. I bought it. Like, I did.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I mean, and then I thought about it, I was like, no, wait a minute, what? Like, that's not even
Because he says it and you're like, okay, that's one of those sayings, whatever.
everything
But
he
then
says.
you're like, it's not a saying.
It's not.
Like, no.
It's so bad. We transition here to obviously. So this is so funny. When I think what do we got? We have Ryan and Seth. Anna's there too, right? Right.
Yeah, and I love it because we've talked about this a few times. One of my favorite things on this show is like whoever Seth and Ryan are dating interacting with the other one, like Seth or Ryan. It's like one of my favorite things because it's so like pure, like the like Ryan going like bonding with Anna and be like hyping up Seth is so cute because like they are technically brothers, I guess you could say. And then like, but they're also like really good friends. And he's like, watch out for this one. And I'm like, that's so pure. And like Anna's sitting there and they're talking about this date that Seth has like
blown out of proportion.
But it's not planned at all. She's like, why don't you just take her to dinner and a movie? And he's like, because Seth said it was going to be the best date ever. And that's not the best date ever.
I love what
he's like, Summer likes waxing, tanning, and shopping. Maybe there's something there. They're best friends. And Anna's like, I didn't know Summer was so. What did she say? It was so funny. I don't remember what she exactly said. She's like, I didn't know Summer was so deep. Yeah, it's so funny.
And he goes, I asked Summer what Marissa wanted to do, and she said she didn't know.
And Anna's like, super helpful. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh man. God, he just
and it's like he said that in front of Summer that there was the best date ever that was planned, and then he's like asking Summer what they should do.
Oh my goodness, I just love it.
It's so funny. And then
go ahead.
They like disperse, and it's just Anna and Seth, right? And it's just going on and on and on about Summer, and like it was like the funniest acting because you know when you can see someone thinking before they say something.
Yep.
Like you could see her, like Smart Armstrong, like before she said something, she's like you can see her internalizing where she turns to Seth. And she's like, "Can you just not talk about Summer for 5 minutes?" Like it was just really funny, like comedic acting to like see her processing that before she said it because it's exactly what you would do with someone who like won't shut up about something.
God, yeah. 100%.
Like where you're like, is this the moment where I snap? And she was like thinking like, I'm going to snap. I'm going to snap. And then she looks at him and she snaps. And it's so funny.
So good. Can we also, can we talk about how Seth burned the CD with all of his favorite songs with the word summer in it?
How long did that take? Like, oh my God. And I also love that he's like, we don't talk just about Summer. We talk about this and this. And it's two things that she's like, no, these were also about Summer. Like, like it was really good.
Oh, so good.
And then I just love that he's like, fine, I won't talk about her anymore. And then Anna's like, I'm going to go get dessert and just leaves him. So funny.
Marissa walks in on Jimmy and Julia.
Which is, by the way, I have a comment here. Marissa's carrying this beautiful Chanel quilted tote
Yes.
that present day retails for $4,790. So please don't tell me about them being broke.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like they have nice things. You know what I mean? That's yeah. I don't know. All right. So in this particular moment, Jimmy said Jimmy's comment here literally should win MVP just for his comment. He says nobody has fewer nicer things to say about your mother than me.
It was really funny. It's also really funny because she gives him the meanest side eye I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, that's even though they're getting a divorce, I'm like, that's marriage in a nutshell, is that look that she gives him.
So obviously, if everybody's listening at home, they know what happens throughout the rest of this episode. My question to you is this. You hear that comment, and what in the world makes Marissa think for the rest of the episode that her parents are getting back to potentially get back together?
Especially because to me, in this moment specifically, I was like, okay, Jimmy and Julie are on board with their divorce. That's what it came across to me like.
Yeah.
And that they're on board that, like, in order to present this united front from two different homes, that they need to, like, be kind to one another in front of Marissa, at least. And so I was like watching this and I was like, you know what? Like, they're moving forward with the divorce and then making amends. But then the rest of the entire episode, Marissa's like, we're going to be a family again. I'm like,
I'm going to move back in next door and we'll be able to hang out together all the time.
Who said that? Like, who said anything about that? Marissa? Nobody, not one person. And then Ryan having to tiptoe around the situation the whole episode. I'm like, I would break up with Marissa. Like,
just for the airheadness of what was going on.
It was really weird. But I guess it's one of those things, like, she really wanted them to be together. So she was like, maybe it'll work out. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because, like, after that, you know, she's talking to, obviously, she has to bail on the date. The world's greatest date in the history of the world. She has to bail on it, you know, and it's like a romantic night with my mom. He said, your mom hates me. And he's,
wait, my favorite thing is, she's like, instead of your romantic date, we'll be spending a romantic night on a yacht on the ocean with my mom. Like, I was like, oh, what?
And this is literally the next scene because she's excited about this yacht. She's excited about everything.
So excited. And she's like, I'm so happy. This will never be an accomplishment.
And it's like what?
That's how angry Ricky is, guys. So we're here making angry sound effects. Can't handle the truth. It's literally hilarious because she is like, I'm so happy. I'm never this happy. And she's like, and not even just about my family getting back together. I'm like, bro, no one said your family's getting back together. Like,
nobody at all.
It's really wild. I don't know. And then she calls him her boyfriend.
Yes.
And it's when they're hugging. So she cannot see his face. And his face is like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yep.
Like, no.
I didn't remember asking.
Really funny. I would have been really freaked out if I was Ryan.
Yes.
But I like that she said, like, being with someone is not about, like, dates and materialistic things. It's about moments like this.
Right. Where did she learn that from?
Exactly. Where?
I don't understand. I don't understand because, you know, obviously she was in a very materialistic relationship with Luke. Yeah. And then she has a mother that is super materialistic. She has a dad that I don't even know. Like, I don't know
how to describe Jimmy.
But I really don't either. Just, he's a caring father from a distance, I think is what you could call Jimmy. So where did she learn that this is exactly what, and there's nobody around her that has the foundation of a relationship. Maybe Sandy and Kirsten, but she's not around, according to what we understand.
This is the first time she's really, like, around them.
Right. So where did she understand the materialistic thing is out the window? Because
and, like, her best friend is Summer, who doesn't have a boyfriend. Like,
literally went to a party to find a man that would be rich so that she could marry him and be
so it's like, I don't understand. But maybe her therapist told her.
Possibly. We transitioned to Seth and Ryan, which is hilarious because I wrote this down like this. Let's see. Anna thinks all I talk about is Summer.
And he just looks at him. And he's like, do you want me to lie?
Exactly. It's just, it was just, yeah.
And then he just keeps talking about it, about Summer. Just won't stop talking about Summer. And then Ryan just continues to give him the Ryan glance.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm doing it again. And he's like, God, I hate that guy. And he's like, I am that guy. And it's really funny because he just continues to talk about Summer
the entire time.
It's hilarious.
Okay. Then we transfer to Sandy and Kirsten, where I think this might get a little heated on this episode, maybe just a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Well, so obviously they're talking, and he goes, first off, he gets home at 2 a.m.
Okay, if you
dates.
like, come on, wouldn't you be mad at Stanford? Wait, she calls him Stanford, not Stanford. So weird. Because Caleb called him Stanford on the first episode, and I was like, that's not his name. I don't know. But 2 a.m., that's a little late.
So then he goes, I love you. If our settlement conference goes good, we could be home by 6. And she goes, is that a bribe?
It was really funny. And then she goes, is Rachel's boyfriend as understanding am I? And then Sandy goes, Rachel doesn't have a boyfriend. A typical man, no offense, not realizing that was like a dig. And like I know Rachel doesn't have a boyfriend. Like, it was really funny.
And then, of course, they get a little hot and heavy for a second. And then here comes Ryan.
So funny because he makes that like uncomfortable like smirk, you know, when you like see someone in the hallway or something and you don't want to talk to them. And just goes into his pool house. And then Kirsten's like, you still need to have the talk with him. And it's so funny because he just like, he's like, I'd rather lead by example. And I'm like, oh my God. It was so funny. Sandy's quick, man. He's a quick thinker.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. I love how like, and it's the thing about it is like, they don't let him have a pause. They don't let him pause, right? He just bam, he says,
yeah,
like, it's live. So I love that. Seth, I thought you didn't do girlfriends or you did them, but didn't. That was so
funny. It's so funny.
I love that Seth has this infatuation in his head with Ryan having sex with multiple women. It's just in his head. Like, it's just, I feel like
it's so funny because he's like, he wasn't around to ask him questions about it or like bother him about the women he was with. And it's so funny.
And then of course, Seth is like overly talking about Summer again.
Of course, because what else would he be talking about?
It's just so let's see here. We have the moment. Let's see here. We go to the hang on a second, where am I at here?
The what is it?
The settlement conference, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why they keep calling it a conference. It's like a meeting.
So this is good.
It is
because I wrote right here. Caleb is one of the best written bad guys ever. He really is. He
is so like you want to punch him in the face, but at the same time, like I hate when he's not around. Like I was so excited to see him and Sandy go down. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely,
you needed to see that.
Exactly.
And Sandy's really quiet, and Rachel's doing all the talking. Mm-hmm. And because Caleb is so well written, knows he can attack Sandy. And if he attacks Sandy, he knows it'll get personal and it'll distract from the actual settlement.
Right, exactly.
And so one of my there's a couple
go ahead.
There's a couple things that really like set the mood for this. It is the first time that Caleb calls Kirsten Kiki, which is the most annoying nickname, but it has such a deeper moment because they're in this meeting. It's important. And he's kind of like belittling Kirsten. Like he's not calling her Kirsten. He's calling her Kiki, his personal nickname for her, being like, she's just my daughter. She's just here. I run this show. Yep. And he's like, I thought in the papers, it said that this was going to be between son-in-law and father-in-law, and Sandy's not talking. What's the deal, Sandy? Like, what's going on? Yep. And he's like, Kiki here tells me you're out till 2 a.m. with this one. He's like, you're never home. You're canceling dates, missing stuff with your sons. what's going on, Sandy? And Sandy obviously cannot take this.
He's getting red. Like,
but before he goes off on his tangent, he stares at Kirsten with the ultimate marriage, I'm gonna handle this later, but don't think I forgot look. Like,
and for me personally, so okay. I understand you're going to the war room, you know, and Kirsten has to know, yes, Kirsten has to look in the side of things. Obviously, she works for her dad. This is their side of the fence, stuff like that, right? And then, of course, you have Sandy's side. It's hard to mix. We knew this was going to happen because you're mixing the relationship with the settlement, right?
Yes.
And, you know, Sandy's being very quiet. Rachel's doing a lot of talking on purpose. You know what I mean? Rachel understands the dynamic there as well. You know, Rachel might be written kind of stupid in moments,
she's smart.
She's also a very good lawyer, right?
Yeah.
So she knows she should be doing the talking, but Caleb also knows in the back of his head the way to get the focus from being on the settlement and away from what's happening. He needs to make it personal. Why in the hell would Kirsten say anything about anything that's going on with the relationship, knowing damn well Caleb is going to mention, because he hates Sandy off of this before this. He didn't like him before.
So my thinking here was that they've established multiple times that Kirsten doesn't really have that many friends. Right. Like she has those ladies, the newsies.
I mean, you understand.
So she probably gets really comfortable with her dad and forgets about the whole thing. But that's like where Caleb always has the upper hand, is like he's always on. Like he's always
taking notes.
Yeah. Like it's not like you're confiding in your dad. You're confiding in this guy who's going to use that against whoever you're talking about.
And he did exactly that.
Yeah. And it's like Kirsten had that look on her face. Like she knew she did that. And it was like not on purpose. But like, I don't know, like when I talk to someone that like I know doesn't like someone, I'm never going to talk poorly about that person to them because I'm aware of that happening. And like, I used to date someone that like my best friend hated so much, and I could never confide in her about anything that was happening with him because the second things were good, she'd be like, well, so I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Yeah. Even if it's your dad, you can't do that. And it was really uncomfortable. It was very unfortunate. And okay, do you want to know how much he offered him? I need to know.
Okay, so my question to you is this. Is there a dollar amount that could have been on that piece of paper that he would have said yes to?
I don't think so. I don't think so either. I think Caleb was doing this out of spite forever.
It didn't matter if he was offering him $100 billion.
Yeah, I think it's just out of spite.
Yeah.
Though, kind of like makes me question Kirsten at like her not political beliefs, but like I don't know. Ethics.
Yeah.
If a wildlife like conservative whatever is saying this land that they're purchasing is actually also part of the wetlands, I would back off.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, but again, it's not really her place to kind of say back off. Obviously, we know Caleb's the dominant male because Kirsten really doesn't say anything this entire meeting.
Yeah. And like that's why he's calling her Kiki. Like he hasn't done that the entire time he's ever been in an episode.
He makes it
never. Yeah. But I'm kind of like, Kirsten, what's going on? Like ethically, I'd be like, you know what? If the like environment conservation group is saying this land is also part of the wetlands.
Yeah.
I would be like, because the only thing she really says is it took them 5 years to acquire the wetlands in general that they already have, when she was trying to say it's going to take them another 5 years to get this other land. Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
It's an ecosystem.
Like, obviously after the slide, what weird to me was I was kind of surprised that Rachel had him slide the money, because I feel like that was even more of a slap in the face to Caleb, but maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why. But it was weird because I'm like, they wanted them to settle, and then you have Sandy slide the money.
Right.
Or like the offer. It's weird.
And I think no matter what, obviously, like we talked about, I don't think Caleb was ever going to say yes to the money.
Yeah, never.
Considering already how he's acted prior to the money even being slid across the table. He's already acting a fool. So obviously, and then I love it. He says, don't let my silence here mislead you. I'm taking you down."
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
It was really funny too because he's like, when I get you on the stand, and
Oh,
like this whole time, Rachel's been like, "We don't go to court. We don't go to court," and I'm like, "Now you want to go to court?" Like,
yeah.
it was
But
really
I
funny.
think, I think at that particular moment, Rachel also understands that he was not taking he's not taking the deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then it
Um,
was really funny because I'm like, "You guys aren't going to be home by 6."
yeah. 2 a.m. again. Here we come.
So funny.
We transition to Julie. Julie's so conniving, right? She
I
just
don't trust her the entire time. Like, I
oh,
already knew the twist that was coming,
right, of course.
but I'm like, even if I didn't know,
I would
I
just
would not trust Julie. We've
like
seen enough.
even if you get down to the hug was a setup.
And
She even
not only
held
was
on
it
for
a,
so long just so that
yeah,
Melissa could see
it
her.
wasn't just like a setup that bothered me. It was like she knew that Ryan knew it was phony. And
Oh
she
yeah,
was like, just accept
tell the
it.
way Ryan
Like,
was
yeah.
acting. Even whenever she hugged him,
Because
he
Ryan is really polite to adults. Like, he's very polite. Even in the very first episode, like the pilot, when they're like, he's the cousin from Boston or he's from Seattle, like, he doesn't like argue with these
no,
adults that he's put into situations with. He's very respectful. And he's not with Julie because he knows how Julie is. Like, he knows deep down Julie's like motivations. And he's like, like, not okay.
yeah, it's a good.
But we skipped over Ryan's comedic bit. Marissa's like, I forgot I had this dress. Ryan's like, happens to me all the time. He's always funny and no one pays attention. And Ryan is funny.
Yeah, Ryan is he's super funny. Obviously we have that moment. Can we talk about I kind of missed it a little bit earlier, but like I really love Anna. I mean,
I love Anna, but like when I was watching this live on TV and then when I've rewatched it, I always thought Anna was like this really like strong female character, but like she's such a pushover.
she really is.
And I don't like that because like she is written like really well, but like she's a pushover with Seth. And I'm like, girl, you knew you were
She's
going
got
to
a
this thing.
Seth though. I think that's what it.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, we know she's got the thing for Seth. You know what I'm saying? So
But it makes me sad. Just like she's telling Seth to man up and that girls like guys with confidence. And I'm like, girl, guys like girls with confidence. Like, come
mhm,
on. But I
yeah,
guess she sees that Seth likes Summer and she's like, he won't like me. But
I love
I
the
don't
way
know.
I love the way she slanders Summer in front of Summer, and Summer doesn't even realize that she's.
She's literally like, "Are you making fun of me? I can't tell." So funny.
You
And
have
then
to
she's like, "You do." She's like, "You do my work for me."
she's just so funny.
It's so such a burn.
I tell you what, we talk often about how great the camera work is on this show, but like the way they utilize the camera work to kind of subtly show Summer watching Anna and Seth
Yeah, it's
together,
really funny.
it's really good because you start to see obviously the tone of the show, which obviously the synopsis is Summer realizes she likes Seth, but don't ever tell anyone. But but you start to realize as the viewer, if you're watching this for the first time, obviously if you're not, you understand already, but you start to see the little pieces that they drop in your head that Summer's slowly but surely becoming more and more jealous
Yeah.
relationship between Anna and Seth. She knows it and she's starting to feel disgusted by it, but at the same time, she's also not able to, I don't know, resist the urge.
The charm of the Cohen.
And the thing about it is Summer is in a predicament, and I think I talk about this later, but Summer is in this predicament for the first time in her life where she's not capable of getting something that she really, 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 really wants. You know what I mean? She's always used to
Yeah.
snapping her fingers, and that's what she gets. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then we can transition to talk about
Yeah.
Sandy.
Sandy's in the doghouse, let's say.
Come,
Yeah.
I mean, but he has a right.
Okay.
He has a right to be angry here.
Okay, but so does she. They both are annoying me.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Why does Kirsten have a right to be angry?
Okay, because also my favorite part of this entire thing is that Ryan's in the background the entire argument.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
they're clearing the table.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy missed another dinner, but Kirsten was able to be home. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's made up to look like that Caleb is always in charge, but we've already been made to believe Kirsten's doing all the heavy lifting. Caleb, at this point, is just a figurehead.
Mm-hmm.
So Kirsten can be home for dinner, which, by the way, they're like, there's a pot roast, but we were told Kirsten doesn't cook. Who made the pot roast?
I thought it was. Didn't the lady make it? Probably. They have a.
Rosa?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was really weird. It bothered me because I'm like, they should have had Chinese takeout like normal.
Okay.
Sandy is yelling at her, like, don't talk to your dad. And I'm like, I agree with him. But she has a solid point. Who would she talk to? He's never there. She's like, who would I talk to? Seth? And it's really funny because then Ryan's in the background, like, stares at them. Like, I'm standing here, guys.
Okay.
But
So
who would she talk to?
wait a minute. So we're supposed to. Well, I don't understand why she would. I'm still confused why she should be. I'm not saying she shouldn't be slightly upset, but
If she can be home for dinner that night,
but
so
I
could
would
have
say there's a big
Sandy.
difference, though.
Sandy is most
No.
likely.
There's a big difference, though. I do think that there's a difference between being the person that is on the opposing side of getting sued or being in that particular than it is.
Okay,
You know
but
what
at
you're
the
doing
end of
now.
the day, like that one day, like I think it's one day he could have made an effort to be home.
But he's angry and upset, and now he
I
wants
don't
to
know,
take
like when
down.
they
He
have
wants to take
kids, they need to
down.
make an effort.
He wants to take down Caleb now.
I understand, but like
Is
that's
on.
something their kids are going to read about in the paper, and like they should be presenting this united front at home for their kids.
But he's mad, and he has a
Yeah, but
right to be
like
mad.
they both have a right to be mad. I mean,
Ugh.
I don't know. I would be a little upset that like he's not making any effort whatsoever and is staying out till 2 a.m. working every single night. Like pick one night a week to be like, this is my family night. I'm gonna at least be home for dinner. He could come home for dinner and leave for all I care.
We're
Make an
bouncing
effort.
we're bouncing off we're bouncing off the what just happened, right? It's game on now, though. You know what
But
I
it's
mean?
game on with Caleb. It's not like it's game on with his wife.
Right. So he's got to figure out, and understand, Caleb has money on for
But
days and days and days and days. So he knows that he's gonna have to bring everything to
I
him.
understand, but it's not like the trial is the next day. Like he can come home for dinner.
He says, you don't have to go running to your daddy.
But okay, like it's her boss, and when he is probably like, she obviously made a point that one day to be like, I can't stay late for dinner because I have a date with Sandy. And then she had to be like, I can stay late because I'm not going with Sandy anymore. He's going to be like, what the fuck happened? And it's like, I don't know. It's different. It's her dad. He like lays the traps, and it's not, I don't know. He's mad
No, he
at
does.
Caleb.
He does. I understand that.
But he's mad at Caleb, and it's like weird. And they're having this argument.
He's not mad at, but he's mad at Caleb, yes, but he's mad at Caleb because of the things that Kirsten told him.
But yes, but it's like, don't have this argument in front of your children and come home for dinner every once in a while.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But I'm also saying that I dropped my pen. But I'm also saying that we are in a predicament right now where Sandy is upset.
And we will see in 2 scenes from now who he is upset with and what he does when he's upset.
Okay, I understand. But also, it was kind of a low blow whenever he said, "Why don't you go to Jimmy?" That was pretty mean.
That was mean.
That was a low blow. That was a low blow, but also very factual as well. But it was kind of a low blow.
It was a low blow because Ryan is standing there.
But also true. But also a low blow.
This hatred for Kirsten, man. If it's still around.
I knew this is where we were gonna disagree. I knew it because it knew in my head that you were gonna be.
If you say Sandy's MVP, I'm leaving the show.
You're gonna leave the show?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. You're gonna have to do this by yourself. He's like, shit, Sandy, you're my MVP.
Oh, I'm gonna have to cross out my MVP.
Yeah, right.
I love the scene after. It's like in-laws. If you figure him out, let me know. Is what I will say. I wasn't fond of Sandy's talk about the relationship at this particular moment with Ryan. I will say that, okay? I didn't like that.
Because I never saw my parents fight like ever growing up, but like if you did see them fighting, you shouldn't turn around and be like, "Don't ever get married." Like that's not.
Yeah. Look, I'm criticizing Sandy right now, okay? I'm criticizing him, all right? I'm criticizing Sandy.
As you should be. As you should be.
After the moment where he was 100% right for going off. Obviously, we see the moment.
Yeah. Poor Ryan. Like Ryan is like one of those people that like witnesses a murder and like they see him witness it. Like Julie is worse than the mob. Let me tell you. Like Julie probably heads the mob in Orange County. Yes. He's taking the trash out like a good kid and sees Caleb going up to Julie Cooper's house and sees them have a passionate kiss.
Yeah.
Sees Caleb enter Julie's home, and Julie looks up and sees Ryan and knows Ryan witnessed this whole thing, and it's so uncomfortable. Yeah. I hate it.
Such a great scene.
Really good. I need to see like the layout of their neighborhood though, because like it's weird that like they're
able to just see that direct down.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's quite interesting.
Because I would design my house differently. I wouldn't have someone's driveway looking into my entrance.
Yeah, because that's really creepy. That could be very creepy, right?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Transition. Can we talk about that weird, awkward like greeting? What's up, Holmes? And then Seth responds, "Chillin'."
It's really weird. It was like weird because like I thought she was like she obviously he commented. Right? Yeah, she put in this effort. Seth makes fun of her for wearing perfume. So I'm like, why would you greet him? What's up, Holmes? Like, it's just really weird. I don't know.
Then we have the greatest line ever.
Sometimes you talk just to make sounds.
Oh, no, not that one. That's funny. Oh. Too. Hot tub for the hose. I usually hang out in the grotto.
It's really funny. And then
Marissa goes, running to the little girl's room. And then Anna goes, I'll come with you.
It's really weird because I'm like, you're in a house. You're not like at a restaurant or something. Exactly. It's like it's really weird.
At Cohen's house. It's not, yeah.
It's weird.
Seth goes, girls can't be alone. And then they kind of both look back at him. And then Ryan goes, sometimes I think you talk just to make sounds.
And then I love Seth goes, I do.
He goes,
it's really funny. It's so funny.
Hilarious.
And then Kirsten comes in and is like, time to go. And Ryan's like, where's Sandy? And she's like, don't ask.
She asked where the girls are. He goes, the girls are peeing. Kirsten says, don't say peeing.
It's so funny. But Seth, don't say that.
So funny. And then next. Okay, so we get to the yacht or whatever, right? Party time.
Question. Caitlin has a purse. Caitlin is what? 8, 9?
Why is Caitlin so mad at Ryan? She's so mean to him.
Because she really liked Luke. They made it like abundantly clear in the background of a few episodes. She's obsessed with Luke.
Okay, must have. Yeah, okay, all right. And then of course,
I think she had a crush on Luke, and she does not have a crush on Ryan, so she might not want Ryan around.
And then, where's the Sandman?
I love the way he talks about Sandy. It's so funny. He has like so little respect for. It's the way you never want your in-laws to be about you.
But his follow-up line is just as good. He looks at Seth and goes, "Built like a pipe cleaner, but looking sharp."
It's so funny. Like, why are you calling your grandchild a pipe cleaner?
Oh man, I wrote down right here. Caleb's on fire.
I like when he's like full blast, like full steam ahead. It's like the Titanic, man.
So good. And then of course, Summer shows up and is immensely, like right off the rib, jealous of Anna.
So jealous.
she's never, and this is the thing, like we've never, like we have now obviously a few minutes ago, but we've never really seen Anna dolled up, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she's like kind of like a tomboy-ish, comic book nerd-ish, but
Yeah.
when Anna dolls up, she looks great. You know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
beautiful. So it's like,
Because
all
she's
right,
like written like quirky, so
right,
she dresses more like fashion forward versus just
right,
like appealing,
yeah,
and that's the opposite of Summer. But
right. But now Summer's seeing that other side, and it's like, oh, maybe I do have some confidence I
yeah,
need to worry about. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
I do love throughout the episode seeing that side of Summer. We see a real version of Summer kind of breaking out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I put the note here: who's used to getting everything she wants. That was where that note I made. You know, so let's see here. Where are we at next? Where do we get to?
Julie and Ryan at the bar.
Oh yeah, the Ryan Julia.
It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, very much
She's
so.
like, I appreciate you for not saying anything. And he's like, you might be okay with lying to Marissa, but I'm
Mm.
not. And she's like, you should keep this to yourself. It's not any of your business. I'm like, it is his business. Like, he
This is
literally
woman.
saw it.
This is
It's
woman.
not like but on top of it, it is his woman, but it's not like it's something he overheard or something. Like, he physically saw it.
And
Like,
not just that, he knows in the back of his head Marissa is has it
set.
made up in her head
Yeah.
that Jimmy and Julie are getting back together. The family's getting back together. She's going to move in next door. They're going to be able to hang out all the time. Everything's going to be normal again. And you
Yeah.
know, in the back of her head, she's coming off of an overdose where she almost killed herself.
Yeah.
She understands in the back of her head that Julie and Caleb, that's not good for anybody. Not for Marissa. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's such poor parenting. It's ridiculous.
And then,
Um,
can we talk? All right. So who asked this question? No, it must. Yeah. So Marissa and Summer, right? I think it is. How goes
mhm.
Chip?
I'm so confused. I thought his name was like, I don't remember. I thought his name was something else. And she said Chip, and I was like, what?
He's surprised the ocean is big. Smoke another beer, Chip. What?
So weird.
Another beer?
So weird. She said it, and I was like, what? Very weird. But I just love that Marissa's like, Anna's cool. And Summer's like, no, like, you're my friend. You're supposed to say no.
What does Seth see in Tinkerbell? So funny.
So funny.
It's
Really
so
funny.
He goes from smoking weed, smoke another beer, Chip, to what does Seth see in Tinkerbell? It was like, how are these the same written person?
It's so funny because it's
It's
like, that's so
funny.
dumb. And then Tinkerbell's such a good line.
And then
Ridiculous.
Marissa calls her ass out for liking Seth, which is so good.
It's so cute. It's so funny.
She's like,
It's something only your best friend could do.
right,
You know?
exactly. She's like, Ryan and Seth have those moments, right? He calls,
Yeah, exactly.
yes, you do talk about Summer too damn much. Like you do. Like,
It's so funny. It was so good. And
so good.
I also just like seeing Marissa like playful and not so like stern and serious, and which is funny to say stern, Anna Stern. And then Ryan and Marissa.
He tells her.
It's so awkward at first because he's not telling her. He's like, it doesn't always work out. And she's like, well, just because it happened with your parents doesn't mean it's going to happen with mine. And he can see him just being like, oh my God, I can't take this. And he tells her, and it's so uncomfortable.
Our facial expression. It's like they're so good, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good. But
It's so uncomfortable.
it's weird in a way because it's like in my head, it's like, man, you have to tell her if you're Ryan. But in the
You
other
have
side,
to.
you understand the back because if she finds out that you knew and you didn't tell her,
Yeah.
whew,
That's not an argument you want to get in.
it's hitting the fan. We transition then to Rachel and Sandy. Can we talk about my man for a minute, please?
What? You're happy to talk about this?
I'd love to talk about this.
Okay.
Why should I not be happy?
I think he I don't know, he made me uncomfortable.
He made you uncomfortable.
Yeah. He's like,
She made the moves here.
I know, but he kind of let it go on too long. Like, he kind of like fed the fire, and then she interpreted that as a move to go forward. You know what I mean? Like,
You hate
because she's like, who would get that idea that we're having an affair? And he should have been like,
you are
no
not
one should have that idea.
wear your Sandy eyebrow shirt. You are banished from the Sandy.
No, I love Sandy and he does do the right thing, but he like
It says right here.
he lets it go on too long. I don't
My,
know.
my man. My
No. No.
man does
No.
the right thing here.
He does do the right. I'm not saying he doesn't do the right thing. I'm just saying like she was probably waiting for him to be like absolutely no, like no, 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 and he doesn't really ever say no. He's like uncomfortable and laughing. I'm like, you need to just be frank and be like no. And he does do it eventually, but he didn't do it early enough for me personally.
Sandy can't do anything right in Kenzie's eyes is all I'm taking away.
I love Sandy. Sandy's my favorite character on this entire show, but it made me uncomfortable.
Sandy fan club. I've abolished you from it.
So Rachel tries to kiss him, and he's like, "I got a boat to catch."
Boom.
And I liked that. It was good. It was a good line.
It really was. It was
like it wasn't like a no. It was like I had like this is important.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
Which is funny.
Which further proves he can just leave work.
No, he had to leave this particular moment because he knew.
No. I think he was never going to go to the party.
Yeah, he didn't want to go to the party. I mean, which he ends up regretting.
Yeah.
We'll talk
and then they cut to Anna and Seth.
Yep.
And Anna makes a move, and Seth rejects it.
I do want to talk about this for just a second. I do exactly what they would do, right? I love people watching. It is my
it's so funny.
Our world.
And she's like, there's no people like this in Pittsburgh, and it's really funny. But she leans in to kiss him, and he's like, "Are you thirsty? I'm thirsty."
Yeah.
And he goes and finds Summer.
And then it happens.
Summer kisses Seth,
and
she's like, "Oh my god, no! I like Seth Cohen." And he's
Seth
like, "What? Like what?" He's like, "What? What?" And she's like, "You can't repeat that." She's like, "Don't repeat that to anyone." And she's like, "If you do, I'll kill you."
So good.
And it's really funny because this is all happening at the same time as Julie making a speech and inviting Marissa up on her own.
Who has no clue that she knows.
Yeah.
Zero.
And Marissa is a trooper and is like, "Yeah, I'll come up."
And
Ryan's face is like, "Please do not do this."
Not all these people.
And Marissa's like, "You know what? I'm going to give a speech. I'm going to do this." So Caitlin is picking the raffle winner of a romantic weekend getaway. And Marissa steals the microphone and is like, "You know who deserves a romantic weekend getaway? Julie Cooper and Caleb Nickel, because they're a couple." And then she just stares at Julie, just gives her the meanest look I've ever seen. And then Jimmy has a great line where Julie kind of leans into him and is like, "Honey, like, I'm so sorry, honey." And he's like, "I don't care. You're Caleb's problem now."
Yeah.
He's like, "After this, I'm done with you." And
we talk about the flash in, because again, camera work, always great. We always get the facial expressions that we need. Ryan is somewhat satisfied in a way. He's
satisfied, but he's terrified.
Right. You know what I mean? It's like a mix of both. He's got like a half smirk. Yeah, this is awesome because I told you. It's like I told you Julie was not changed, but I can't tell you that because that's your mom type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the back of his head, he's
like,
"Yeah, I told you."
It's amazing.
Yeah, after tonight, I'm done with your Caleb's problem. That was so good. Can we talk about how Sandy and Kirsten win? It's just so
and then poor Caitlin is just standing there. "Well, the raffle winner is Sandy and Kirsten Cohen." And then Kirsten kind of like laughs because she's like, "Oh my god, like this is the last thing that we need to do right now." And then it cuts to Julie and Marissa having a throw down. Marissa is clearly in the right here. I mean, she did it the wrong way, but like she is correct in the situation that Julie kind of misled everyone a little bit. And she's like, "How could you do that to me and Caitlin?" And Julie's like, "I knew what I was doing. I was going to tell you guys later." And Marissa's like, "You can't like mess with your family. Like, You can lie about whatever. You can be mischievous.
For some reason, Marissa thought the family was getting back together. We still don't know why.
I still don't know why, but because I'm like, Jimmy's not that mad.
No.
Because Jimmy didn't think they were getting back together. Like,
I mean, he literally said, "There's not a person that I have less nice words to say about than her."
it's really weird. And then it transitions to Kirsten yelling at Caleb.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Kirsten's buff. Did you notice?
Yes, very much so.
She's like her arms, man. But she has such a great line.
Go ahead.
She's like, outside of the office, we have nothing to say to each other. It was good.
Yeah, because she does. Obviously, she understands why Sandy was frustrated, right? You know what I mean?
She knew, like, she just thought she was confiding in her dad, not her boss.
Right. And then I love when Seth goes, because this is right before she goes off on her dad or whatever. But Julie Cooper and my grandfather. It's just the way he says it is hilarious.
It's so funny.
Of the way they're walking out together, and Summer looks down at Seth, and
she's like,
throat thing. You know what I mean? Like, and
it's so funny.
It's super hilarious. And then I love Sandy shows up and
I'm here. And she's like, we're not leaving. And then he's like, but I wore a jacket. It's so funny. And then I love that it's like Sandy and Kirsten talking. And Sandy's like, Julie Cooper in theory could be your stepmother. I loved like Sandy's so invested in the gossip. Like, it's hilarious.
He says, I'm late to one event and I miss everything.
It's so funny. Like, he hates these things, but this was a bad one to miss.
Right, exactly.
It's so funny. I have a question. If this was a yacht party, because I watch a lot of these rich drama shows like Revenge and all these other shows, the yacht should have departed at some point.
It was just like it was a docked yacht party.
It was really weird. Maybe they didn't get the right permit. I don't know. And then the episode ends the same way it started.
Right.
Ryan and Marissa all steamy.
Steamy sex scene going on right now, huh?
It's no sex.
My man's a gentleman.
He is.
Very much a gentleman. He looks at her. I love when he goes, do you snore?
It's so funny.
And then she goes, no, well, no, I don't know. And then of course, he was like, I thought we were going to sleep, and then we know what happens. And then, kumbaya, the episode's over.
It's so funny.
So my question for you is, who is your MVP?
I'm actually going to go Seth. I don't think I've ever chosen Seth, but I'm going to go Seth. I think this episode had a lot of like bad light on so many characters.
Yeah.
Not Ryan, but I don't know. I just feel like Seth was like extra funny. He had a lot of like going for him this episode.
Yeah.
So I went Seth. Who you got?
I went
Caleb? You went Sandy?
I did.
Goodbye.
Can I make my case?
Yeah.
I went Sandy Cohen for several reasons. Okay. One, I like the aggressive side of Sandy that we've never seen before.
At work?
Yes. That was at work. Well played. I don't know if you meant to do it that way, but that was well played.
I did.
Okay, that was well played. I loved it. I do like to see a little fire in him, you know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes he can be played
very laid back.
Right, as laid back, as kind of goofy, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of what his character is. But I loved his aggression here. And my man turned down the advances. I was very proud of him.
I'll give you this. I won't quit. It's fine.
It's very sweet of you.
Thanks.
What's your fun fact for the episode?
I have two. Ooh. This was our very first episode without Luke.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And when Marissa says that she's never slept with anyone, she already had a sleepover with Ryan.
Oh. She did.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the hotel, right?
Yeah, and they were on their way to Tijuana, and their car got crashed by Summer.
Well played.
Very interesting.
Because technically, I mean, you could say that, you know, Seth and Summer slept together. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Yeah, you're right. Look at, dang, that's a good one. I like it.
It's very weird. I don't
I like
like it. Coming after you, Marissa.
All right, folks, do us a favor. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you continuously supporting the show. Give Kenzie a follow on Twitter at Ken's Venenu. Give myself a follow at Ricky Vler _. Thank you so much for the continued support and continuing to listen to us. It gives us a little bit more validation behind what we're doing. Kenzie and I are having a blast. As you can tell, I
So
feel
much
like
fun.
I had somebody comment on one of our things, and they're like, "You guys have great chemistry together," and it's just we're both super passionate about this show. We love
It's just
it.
so great. It's so fun to talk about. It's the best
It is,
show.
and the way
And
we
everyone comment who you prefer, Sandy or Kirsten. Let's go. Let's pick sides.
I think I did this on Reddit, and I'm pretty positive that
Sandy won. Yeah.
getting like remarks.
No, I love Sandy. It's just funny. Sandy's my favorite character in the show.
He's fantastic, and like I said, we really do appreciate it. We're having a blast here. I can't believe we're 10 episodes into this. Like
crazy.
This is literally an idea that was put on a couple text messages, and it's turned into something way more than that, which I love because it's just amazing. And thank you so much for listening, guys. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Oh, see you later.
Oh, snap.
I did it.